Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Samrupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapat Kamlam Shri Gurana Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sadhutam Sahaganaganathritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarabhutam Parajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanatvaścha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Satadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Khalpataru Bhaksha Kripa Sindhuvai Cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all for the class today. The class is on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Bhagavad Gita is a scripture. It's a song. It's a celestial song sung by Krishna himself. Krishna sings the celestial song for Arjuna and for all of us. Bhagavad Gita has got 5 topics to discuss. So this chapter is very important. The opulence of the Absolute. It talks about Krishna. It talks about, there are 4 shlokas which have just gone by. Today is 10.15. But before coming to the 10.15, we will go back to the shlokas that have gone by. It's the Chaturshloki Gita has been spoken here. The Chaturshloki Gita is very important for all of us. Chaturshloki Gita, the 4 very important shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita are in this chapter. And they teach us a lot that who Krishna is and how we can get Krishna. He talks about it himself. He tells it about himself. So and the Bhagavad Gita, as I said, it speaks about the 5 things. Bhagavad Gita has got 5 things in it. Krishna speaks about 5 major things which all of us should know. The first, Krishna speaks about himself, that who he is. So Bhagavad Gita is called the Bhagavata Gita. It's the celestial song, the Bhagavata Gita. So Krishna speaks about himself, who he is. Then Krishna talks about who we are, all the jivas. He says, first me, Krishna, I am the Supreme Lord, I am the Bhagavan. And then he talks about us, the jivas, the souls, the spirit souls that are here in this Mrityu Loka. So he talks about them, he gives their characteristics, he talks about himself. And then third, he talks about time. Time is actually, he says, it's me. So time is, Krishna says, it's he himself. And then the fourth, he talks about the modes of material nature. That's the mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, mode of passion. He talks about the 3 modes, the 3 gunas. So he talks about 5 things. What have I missed out? Who will tell me? What did I miss out? Yes. So karma, Bhagavad Gita is actually related to karma. So 4 things, the first 4 things which I spoke, they are eternal. Krishna says they will never change. Eternal means Sanatan. They will never and never change. They will remain alive. That is, Krishna will remain. He will be there always. Jivas will be always there. We as the spirit souls will never die. We will remain always. We are eternal. Time is eternal. Time will remain always. Nobody can take away the time, and time cannot be brought back, but time will keep on moving. Time will change everything. Time will eat everything. Time is like that. It will take away, it will consume everything. We keep on changing because of the time. This body keeps on changing because of the time. As the time passes, the body changes. Everything changes in this world. Everything is bound to change. Even our relationships, our friends, our social circle, our material circle, everything will change. Change is the law of nature. He says, ये नियम है संसार का कि change होगा. So these and the modes of material nature will always remain. तीनों गुण हमेशा रहेंगे. They will be always there. ये तीनों गुण जो हैं ये हमेशा हमें influence करते रहेंगे. They will keep on in whatever guna we are, that makes us work. If we want to go across the satagun, we have to work hard for it. Like it is when there is water. Water flows, if you spill water, it takes the, wherever the slope is, it will go down. It's natural, it will go down. You can't push it upwards. You put it in a height, it goes down. So if you want to raise it up, you got to put some pressure. So we put motor pumps and all to give pressure to the water to go up. So likewise, and if there is, the water evaporates. So there is a lot of heat, the water evaporates. Then it becomes steam and it goes up. So we need austerity. This is called austerity. When we have to perform austerity, then only we go beyond the mode of goodness also. So if we are in the mode of goodness, at least we should come to the mode of goodness. Because what we hear about the Supreme Lord, we can retain only if we are in mode of goodness. A person in mode of passion will not listen to you. He is much obsessed with the material world. A person in mode of ignorance will not listen to you. He will just listen once and it will go out of the other ear. Because he is in mode of ignorance. So if you want to go to the mode of satoguna, above the Vishuddha Sattva if you want to go, you have to cross the satoguna. So you got to do the austerity. You have to do the tapasya. So Kali Yuga, the tapasya is it's not like the previous yugas. In Kali Yuga, the tapasya is very simple. Krishna says, Kali Keval Namadhara. That is from the Granth Sahib, it says, Satyug Sati Treta Yug Yagi Dwapar Puja Achar Kali Keval Namadhara. So Kali Yuga, only the name is enough. Chanting of the holy name will bring us in the Vishuddha Sattva. So Krishna talks of these four things, they are eternal. Then he talks of the fifth thing, karma. He says karma is not eternal. Karmas actually are what? Actions. Karmas are called the actions, what we perform. So actions happen whether we are getting distress or we are getting happiness. We react according to the situation. In what situation we are, we react according to that. So previous actions we did, their reaction is what? The happiness and the distress that comes our way. जो सुख और दुख हमें मिलता है वो हमारे previous karmas का reaction है. It's the fruit of the previous karmas. So if we are getting some sukh, that is what we had done, a punya or something good we had done, so we got as the sukh. But if we had committed sins, so we are getting the dukh, that is the distress we get in our lives. So now when you get sukh or you get distress, then what happens? Then now what reaction you give to these is going to make your future. So how one should be, Krishna says, one should be indifferent to all these. Indifferent to your success and failure, indifferent to your sukh and dukh. Be indifferent. Don't react to them. So this is what the Bhagavad Gita teaches, that is the karma. So every action has a reaction. So do such an action that the reaction is nullified. Keep Krishna in the center and your reactions will be nullified. So today we will go back to the Chaturshloki and then we'll come to today's shloka. So Chaturshloki Gita starts from the 8th shloka where Krishna talks of that who he is. Aham sarvasya prabho mata sarvam pravartate iti matava bhajante mama buddhava samanvita. He says, I am the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabho. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Everything is coming from me. I am the cause of all causes. Brahmaji accepts that. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Nadiradir Govinde Sarvakarna Karnama. So we know that Krishna is, Brahmaji said that and Krishna is saying the same. He says, I am the source of everything. Everything material, everything spiritual is coming from me. I am the source. So if we are getting anything, he is the source. And those who understand this, he says that the wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service. Those who are very wise. Wise means those who have vivek. Intelligence an animal also has. A dog is very intelligent. An animal is very intelligent. Even an ant is very intelligent. If you try to stop the ant, and you put a finger here and she is moving around and you put a finger, she will immediately change the direction. So the ant is also very intelligent. So if we think that we are intelligent, so who are we like? If we don't have the vivek, if we don't have the wisdom, then our intelligence is nothing. It's just like an animal's intelligence. So that's why it is said in the scriptures, Dharamahina Pashubi Samana. That is the vivek. If you don't have the dharma. So dharma doesn't mean I put my collars up and say, oh, I am a Hindu, or I put my collars up and say I am a Christian, or I am a Sikh, or I am a Muslim. Oh, I have this dharma, I follow this dharma. These are no dharmas. These are man-made dharmas. Prabhupada makes it clear. The dharma means following the instructions of the Supreme Lord, that's Krishna. Following the instructions of Bhagavad Gita is dharma. That is dharma. So that is the wisdom. When you understand what Krishna is saying, that is the wisdom. That's a wise person. Krishna says a wise person is who loves everybody, who says Vasudev Kutumbakam. He does not hate anybody. He doesn't say this person is black, this person is white, this person is Muslim, this person is Hindu, this is Christian. I hate this, I love him, I love her. Gender-wise they make differences. Oh, she's a woman, he's a man. So some say, oh, we don't like women, we don't want to see women. Some women say, oh, we hate men. So Krishna says, I don't love those persons, those who say this. The first thing is I don't love such persons. Those who hate others on the caste, creed or gender. Because you are spirit soul, you are not the body. You are the spirit soul, he makes you understand. So he says, those who are wise, they engage in my devotional service. Those who are wise, those who have vivek in them, what they do, how do you know them? They are actually into my devotional service. They work for me, they do me service. Even in the Granth Sahib it says, Jin man antar har preet hai, so jan sugad siyane. It says those who have love for Hari, they are most intelligent. The only thing that makes them intelligent is that they love Hari. So Krishna says the same, and they engage in my devotional service and worship me with their full hearts. They just surrender to me, they love me with their hearts. So I will not take time because I just wanted to brush up with these. And then in the 9th shloka he says, Machit madgat prana bodhiyante parasparam katintascha mamnityam tushanti cha ramanti cha. He says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. So those are my pure devotees, their thoughts dwell in me, they love me. In their hearts I live. Like a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. Krishna says, I live in his heart and they live in my heart. If we want to see that we really, Krishna loves us, if we want to see that, check that. Many people ask me all over the world, how do we know that Krishna loves us? I say always, if you love Krishna, then definitely Krishna loves you. Because he says, I reciprocate with you according to your taste and your desire. So here Krishna himself is saying that the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service. And they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Machit matgat prana bodhayante parasparam. Parasparam means in Hindi when two people meet and they talk about. So this is Krishna says, when two people meet and they talk about me, I am very satisfied. And they will be also satisfied. Because I am satisfied. Even two people meet, the third I am in between. We do Vaishnava Pranam. It doesn't mean that we are bound and the other person may think, oh, they saw me and they just fell flat on the floor. It's not that. When we do the Vaishnava Pranam, it is, Krishna says, I come in the middle and I stand between two Vaishnavas. Vaishnava means, Guru Bani says, the Granth Sahib says, Vaishnavas are, there is a definition of Vaishnava, I won't go into that, but one line I would say, he says, there in the Guru Arjan Dev Ji, the 5th Sikh Guru says, the Vaishnavas are, jis upar Vishnu suprasann. Upon whom Vishnu is very prasann, very happy, he is a Vaishnava. Because he remembers Krishna all the time. Because Krishna says here, Machit madgat prana, I live in their hearts and they live in my hearts. And they talk about me always. They are eager to talk about me, my glories. They are eager to just speak about me. So he says, I love such person, those who talk about me. And they will remain what? Tushanti cha ramanti cha. If you want to be content in your life, if you want to feel satisfied in your life, you have to talk about Krishna. And you will remain ramanti cha, you will be always happy. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. That is the source of happiness. Just you have to chant and you will be happy. If you chant sincerely, if you chant offenselessly, if you chant with full concentration, you will be happy. Just chanting also will bring pleasure. But if you want the bliss, if you want the 100% result, then you have to follow some rules and regulatives. You have to be very pure in your thoughts. You have to chant with, it says, offenselessly. Every day in the morning we do 10 name offenses. We should avoid always. So when we avoid these name offenses, and attentive chanting means when you avoid these 10 name offenses to the holy name. So it's very important for us that we follow that. Then it comes the 10th shloka. Tesham stata yuktanam bhajantam priti purukam dadami buddhi yogantam yenamam upatyate. Krishna says here now, those who chant my holy name always. Statam. Statam means continuously, never stopping. So it doesn't mean that we will never stop, we will always have our bead bags in our hands. No. If we chant 2 hours a day in the Brahmurata, Krishna says out of 24 hours, 2 hours a day you chant, 22 hours I'll remain with you. I will be there protecting you. I will be there with you. So he says this is Satam Yuktanam. This is Tesham Sata Yuktanam. This is continuously calling his names. Because Krishna says if you call my name at least 2 hours a day very sincerely, 22 hours of the day, I will not let you forget me. You will remember me. It's a fact of life. If done, nice chanting, nice japa is done, you will never forget Krishna and Krishna will never forget you. He will always be in your heart and he will make you happen that he will bless you so that you don't forget him. So he says, Tesham stata yuktanam, those who chant my name with love. Bhajantam priti purvakam. He's made this condition. He says priti purvakam. That means it should not be without love. Krishna talks about that he wants always love. Without love, he says, you won't get me. Those who love me and they chant my name, dadami buddhi yogantam, to them I give the intelligence to come to me. Dadami means in Sanskrit, I give, मैं देता हूँ. Aham के साथ हमेशा आमी आता है. When we say aham, it's मैं, ami is those who know Sanskrit grammar, they will understand. That's how it works. So he says, Dadami buddhi yogantam. I give. Personally, I give. Krishna says, I don't allocate anybody. I give. Personally, I will give the intelligence. I don't allocate. I will not allocate anybody. I personally, मैं खुद दूंगा. And he says, Dadami buddhi yogantam yena maam upentite. मुझ तक आने की बुद्धि मैं दूंगा. That you come to me, I will give you the intelligence. So what else we want? We just have to remember him with love. We just have to hear about him and chant his name. And then he gives the intelligence. He will make the way easy for us. Intelligence means he will give us that how we will go back to him. He'll make the way for us. He will send the spiritual master to us. He will make it that spiritual master will appear before us. If we are very inquisitive, Krishna says, if you are very inquisitive, I will make it happen that the spiritual master appears before you. That's absolutely correct. He says, I will make that. I will do that. So, Dadami buddhi yogantam yena maam upentite. I will make the passage that you come to me. Then he comes to the 11th shloka where he talks about Tesham stata. After Tesham stata, he comes to Tesham ivanu kampartham. He says, I give you the I'm sorry, people are watching there. I mean, India, it's quite late where yet people from my online preaching, they are awake and listening here. So it says here that Tesham ivanu kampartham. Tesham ivanu kampartham means, he says, kampartham means kripa. Without kripa, we cannot get Krishna. Kripa is very important. Kripa means prasad. One prasad we eat, other prasad is the mercy of the spiritual master, the kripa. The kripa comes there. So Krishna says here, Tesham ivanu kampartham aham agyanam jamtama nashyami atma bhasta jnana deepena bhasvata. So Krishna says to show them special mercy, to show his special mercy to his special devotees. So he says to show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts. What he does? Because he says, I'm in your heart. You dwell in my heart, I in your heart. So Krishna says, तुम मेरे हृदय में रहते हो, मैं तुम्हारे हृदय में रहता हूँ, जो शुद्ध भक्त है. तो फिर वो कहते हैं, what I do, I shower my special mercy, and that mercy is, I destroy ignorance from your heart. Because when we have lots of questions, so that is the ignorance in us. When we are illusioned, that is ignorance. When we don't have faith in Krishna or the spiritual master, then that is ignorance. Because this is mode of ignorance. We may have the garb of a devotee. We may dress up like a devotee. Dressing up like a devotee doesn't mean we are a devotee. It is just the dress. Yes, this dress helps us. This tilak helps us. This dress, kantimala helps us. The way we dress up, it helps us. It helps us कि ये हमारे ऊपर बंधन लगाती है. This dress, this kantimala, this tilak, we know it that we are a devotee. We have to remain in certain limits. We cannot go out of those limits. We are representing somebody. We are representing Krishna. We are representing the Guru Parampara. We cannot go beyond it. We have to have control on our senses. We have to have control on our tongue. We got to have control on everything. So this helps us. But yet we have to become a devotee. Purification has to come from within. We have to purify from within. And for this Krishna says, you need me. Without Krishna, purification will not happen. For that, the first 3 shlokas have to be followed till we come to this shloka, where Krishna says, I will bless you. I will bless you, I will take the ignorance from your heart. The darkness. Once there was a fight between darkness and the sun. So darkness and sun, both of them had a fight. And they went to the Supreme Lord. And they said, अंधेरे ने कहा, और सूर्य और अंधेरे की लड़ाई हो रही है. तो दोनों पहुंच गए भगवान के पास. सूर्य श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश की जाए, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जाए. सो दोनों पहुंच गए और भगवान से कहते हैं, अंधेरा कहता है, ये सूर्य मुझे टिकने नहीं देता है. जैसे ही प्रकाश की पहली किरण आती है, मुझे भागना पड़ता है. और सूर्य कहता है, मैंने तो कभी अंधेरा देखा ही नहीं, मुझे तो मालूम ही नहीं अंधेरा होता कैसे है, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं अंधेरा क्या होता है. I तो just no light. So दोनों अपनी अपनी जगह ठीक थे. अब अंधेरे को भागना पड़ता है. It's a pitch dark room and you just ignite a matchstick, little bit of light and it lights up. So little bit of knowledge with service to the Supreme Lord and Spiritual Master will enlighten your heart. The whole ignorance will go away. The ignorance will be wiped out. Krishna says, I will wipe it out. And ignorance actually takes us to hell. Ignorance is, Krishna again and again tells Arjuna, don't be ignorant, don't be bewildered. If we are in depression, we are in anxiety, we are bewildered, that means we are in ignorance. We are lazy. Krishna says in the 14th chapter, the modes of material nature have been described. He's described them elaborately. How a person who is in mode of ignorance, how he walks, how he talks, what he eats, everything he talks about it. So a mode of ignorance person is lazy. He blames others, he criticizes others, he is in mode of ignorance. He will fall down and he will make you also fall down. So one has to rise above even the mode of goodness and go to mode of Vishuddha Sattva. Even the Gurbani, the Granth Sahib, it says there, Na mela, na tandla, na pagwa, na mela, na tandla, nanak rango lalo lal. So it says Bhagava means Satoguni. So he says na pagwa. I am not in the mode of Satogun, goodness. Na mela, I am not in the mode of ignorance. Na tandla. Tandla is mode of confusion, that is when you are confused. That is Rajogun, the mode of passion. That makes you confusion, that puts you in confusion. What should I do? What should I not do? How much I should do? How much I should not do? This is mode of passion. When you want to do more, or in the material world, you're obsessed and you want to do more and more and more. But then that is mode of passion. But those who are very content, those who are happy and content, they are actually in mode of goodness and moving towards mode of Vishuddha Sattva. So he says clearly, Gunadev says, Na mela, na pagwa, na mela, na tandla. Nanak rango lalo lal. And Nanak is actually in the, his lalo lal means he is in the color of the Supreme Lord. He is given totally to the Supreme Lord. He is, lal means he is rang gaye Bhagwan ke rang mein. That is Nanak rango lalo lal. So this is how a person should be beyond these three gunas. So then what happens is ignorance is wiped out. And when Arjun hears this, then he tells Krishna, you are what? Param Baram Param Dhamam Pavitram Param Bhavan. So he says, you are the Supreme Lord, you are everything. He declares that. He says, you are everything, you are the greatest. And all the Mahajanas say the same. And then we come to the 14th shloka where he tells again, O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. He says, Krishna, you have told me everything. Nobody can understand you. Neither the demigods, neither the demons. Now the 15th shloka. So you please repeat after me. We will quickly repeat and then we will go for the translation. Swayam eva evatmana atmanam Vetatvam Purushottama Bhutabhavana Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatpate. So as we are getting late, I will quickly go for the translations. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. So Krishna is declaring him to be the Lord of the universe. So why Krishna needed Arjuna to declare this? Because Arjuna is his favorite disciple. Arjuna is so favorite of him, and likewise it is said that film stars are made to, if a product has to be sold. So what happens? We get into an ad a film star who must have never used that product also. But he becomes the brand ambassador of that product. And people go crazy to buy that product. They become fool like that. So that is the material world. But in spiritual world, Krishna favors his disciples, the pure devotees of the Lord. Likewise, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he announced that there will be a Senapati come and he will go all over the world to preach Krishna consciousness. And that's Srila Prabhupada came. So the credit is given to the devotees. The devotees get the credit. Likewise, Prabhupada, when he was serving his spiritual master by going to America, he is telling his disciples that my spiritual master has sent you to help me, so that I spread the word of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada is giving the credit to his own disciples again. He is not taking the credit. That's a pure devotee. Here Krishna does the same. He is actually doing everything, but he is giving the credit to Arjuna, and Arjuna is declaring it, yes, you are the universe of the Lord. Because Arjuna is our hero. Arjuna is the person whom we should actually look up to. So he says here, you are alone know yourself by your own internal potency. So there are three kinds of potency we know. Internal, external, and that is the Tatastha Shakti, marginal potency third. So external is the Bairanga Shakti of Bhagwan, that's the Durga. Antaranga Shakti of Bhagwan is Radha Rani. And then we have the marginal potency, that is we, Tatastha Shakti. So Air says, you want to know Krishna. Krishna is known by his internal potency, Bhakti. Radha Rani denotes Bhakti, Aradhana. She is the Aradhana of Krishna. So, and when in the morning we do Aparad. Aparad means where there is no Radha Rani, Aparad. No Bhakti. When we criticize others, no Bhakti. The 10 name offenses, that is no Bhakti. So it says you are known by your own eternal potency, O Supreme Lord. You are origin of all. You are the origin of all. Sarva Karna Karnava. Everything is coming from you. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the Supreme Lord Krishna can be known by persons who are in a relationship with him through the discharge of devotional service, like Arjuna and his followers. If you want to know Krishna, you got to do the devotional service. Devotional service means prem mai seva, Bhagwan ki prem se ki gai seva is devotional service. Persons of demonic or aesthetic atheistic mentality like Arjun and his followers, persons of demonic or atheistic mentality cannot know Krishna. Those who are atheists, they cannot know Krishna. Those who are asuri pravritti cannot know Krishna. So Krishna has declared these two kinds of people cannot know me. Only devotees, bhakta nam abhijanati, only my devotees can know me. So if we want to know Krishna, we have to become a devotee. So I will quickly read it, and it's a big purport. I think so I'll miss some of the purport, and those who would love, they can read it themselves, because I don't know. कितने बजे class खत्म होता है प्रभु? 8:30. What time is it now? 20 minutes. Oh, it's okay. So it says mental speculation that leads one away from the Supreme Lord is a serious sin. So what is mental speculation? Mental speculation is when you become manmukh. There are two kinds of people. One is gurmukh and another is manmukh. There is no third kind. Bhakta and abhakta, that's it. There is no middle way. One cannot say I am 50% bhakta and 50% abhakta. Either you are a bhakta or you are a abhakta. Either you are an atheist, either you are a gurmukh or a manmukh. So manmukh is mental speculator. Mental speculator is जो मन से चलता है, जो अपने मन जो कह रहा है वो करता है. Mind says I want to go to the temple, he will come. Man says I don't want to go, I will not go. Man says, my mind says I don't like this person. So you follow your mind and you don't like that person, you don't talk nicely to that person. Your mind says I want to go and see movie, you go there. Your mind says this, that, we follow the mind. So manmukh is the one whose heart is full of kalmash. Krishna says that he'll come to the 11th chapter, the last verse of the 11th chapter, Krishna talks about mental speculation. So it's again and again in the Granth Sahib it comes about the mental speculators. Those who are manmukh, they will not lead to Krishna, they will never go back to Godhead. Only a gurmukh can go back to Godhead. Gurmukh is those who look towards to their guru and follow the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master. Bona fide spiritual master coming from disciplic succession. Disciplic succession means the guru is connected to the parampara, is connected to the Supreme Lord. He is coming from that parampara. That's very important. A pramadik guru, a bona fide spiritual master is very important. Because he has the yukti, he has got the yukti with him to take you back. Others will make a fool of us. Other gurus in the market, there are plenty of gurus in the market. But if you want to see which guru you want, he has to be two qualifications you have to see. He should be bona fide and he should be from disciplic succession. That's most important. And then mental speculation is a sin. Here Prabhupada writes it. And one who does not know Krishna should not try to comment on Bhagavad Gita. One who does not have love for Krishna should never comment on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the statement of Krishna, and since it is the science of Krishna, it should be understood from Krishna as Arjun understood it. So this is the science of Krishna. One should try to understand from the pure devotee of the Lord. One should never mental speculate the Bhagavad Gita. If you don't love Krishna, don't try to go into the speculation. Oh, I think it is like this. Oh, I think he is speaking this. When I add my line, I think, then you are not fit to understand Bhagavad Gita. You have to take it as it is, what it says here. So, as Krishna, it says, understood from Krishna as Arjun understood it. It should not be received from atheistic persons. Bhagavad Gita never should be accepted from a person who is atheist. Never ever from a person who is a politician, who is a diplomat, or he is just done a PhD in Bhagavad Gita. That is not the criteria to understand the Gita from. Gita can only be understood from a devotee of the Lord. So the supreme truth is realized in three aspects: as impersonal Brahm, the localized Paramatma, and at last as the supreme personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada is talking here from Srimad Bhagavatam. He gives an example from Srimad Bhagavatam. That is, he talks about Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advam brahmeti paramatmaiti bhagavaniti iti shabdayate. So he talks about the three levels where you understand the Supreme Lord. The people who go after Brahmajyoti, impersonal form of the Lord. So Krishna, Prabhupada here, he talks about this. He says that three stages are there to understand God. Even those who talk about the Brahmajyoti, they are talking about Krishna in the impersonal form. They are talking about a lot of light. They say, no, hame light, that is what we believe God is. It's all light. Yes, they are not wrong into it. Krishna says the light emanating from a body of hundreds and millions of suns, it emanates from my body. So behind that light, I am there. I am the source of that light. So Prabhupada often gives an example that if a person who has never seen a sun, you tell him to go and see a sun in the morning at 6 o'clock. किसी ने कभी सूरज को देखा नहीं है, उसको आप कहो कि जाओ सूर्य को देख कर आओ, 6 बजे सुबह जाओ, सूर्य देखो और मुझे बताओ, 5:30-6 बजे जाओ. अभी सूर्य बाहर नहीं निकला है, बट देयर इज लॉट ऑफ लाइट. तो वो आके कहता है सूर्य बहुत लाइट है, देयर इज लॉट ऑफ लाइट आउटसाइड, एंड ही थिंक्स दिस इज सूर्य, दिस इज द सन. If somebody is told to go and see a sun at 12 o'clock, what will he see? If he goes out, I'm sorry, when he goes in the morning, he sees the round orange ball he will see. But if he goes at 12 o'clock in the noon ke time mein, and he looks up, he sees only, he can't see anything except the light goes into his eyes. So Prabhupada gives this example that the impersonals also, what they think this is light, it's coming from Krishna's own body. And then he talks, there is third kind of a person who is the most intelligent. Who is that? जिसने सूर्य को देखा है सुबह के टाइम में, उसने कहा एक ऑरेंज बॉल है. Like 6 o'clock when the sun is rising, he just saw an orange ball. At 12 o'clock noon, he saw just the light. But the person who knows that Surya, what is it? It's a planet. He knows everything, the science and the facts. That Surya क्या है? Scriptures क्या कहते हैं? Scriptures say the Surya is a loka, where the king is there. Vivaswan is the king of Surya Loka. He is there. He is residing there. So he has the complete knowledge. He says, Surya, I'm talking about the sun as compared to God. अब जो कहते हैं कि भगवान सिर्फ light है, so they have seen just the stage of Krishna's body. And beyond that there is Krishna himself. So it says here, those who know the Supreme Lord with all his opulences, all his vibhutis, they say yes, this is Krishna. And they know Krishna in the complete form. Some know Krishna as the Paramatma form, localized form. Gyanis think that. So Prabhupada talks about it here. So at the Supreme Truth is realized in 3 aspects: impersonal Brahm, localized Paramatma, and at last as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So at the last stage of understanding, the Absolute Truth comes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A common man or even a liberated man who has realized impersonal Brahm or localized Paramatma may not understand God's personality. So भगवान को परमात्मा के रूप में जानते हैं, परमात्मा कहते हैं, भगवान कहते हैं सर्वस्य श्याम हृदय सन्मिष्टम मता स्मृति ज्ञानम अपोनम च. I reside in your heart as the form of Paramatma. I am there in your heart. और वो भगवान का एक अंश है, that is in our hearts. So, but he is in his complete form in his own abode. He has the Sarvyapak form, yet he is there in his own abode. He lives in his Golok Dham. He is there in his Golok Dham. It's not that कि वो आपके हृदय में या पूरे संसार में, इस कण कण में भगवान है. Once I was giving a lecture in Pakistan. So there was a question that came up to me, that how do we understand that Krishna is there in हर कण कण में भगवान है, तो फिर हमें मूर्ति में भगवान क्यों चाहिए, हमें अर्चा वगैरह में भगवान क्यों चाहिए? Then I said, I remembered a Prabhupada's lecture where Prabhupada talks of this. Prabhupada says that भगवान सब जगह है. भगवान इस कुर्सी में भी है, इस आसन में भी है, व्यास आसन में भी है, इस जमीन में भी है, खंबे में भी है, हर जगह है. पर ये भगवान नहीं है. भगवान सब जगह है, पर ये भगवान नहीं है. अब भगवान हमारी सेवा लेने के लिए अर्चा विग्रह में प्रकट होते हैं. हम उनको बुलाते हैं, आह्वान करते हैं, साधु संत आह्वान करते हैं, और भगवान हमारे लिए इस अर्चा विग्रह में प्रकट होते हैं. टू एक्सेप्ट आवर सर्विस ही कम्स देयर. सो दिस इज हाउ वी अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग. कृष्णा इज देयर. प्रहलाद के लिए भगवान खंबे से निकल आए. प्रहलाद से पूछा हिरण्यकश्यप ने, तुम्हारे भगवान विष्णु क्या इस खंबे में रहता है? But this khamba is not Krishna's abode. But Krishna came out of this as Narsingha from the pillar itself. So he accepted his devotees, actually he kept his devotees' words. So Krishna is so merciful that he takes the words of the devotee, makes them the supreme. That yes, what my devotee says is topmost. Devotee ने कह दिया भगवान है इस खंबे में और भगवान को खंबे से बाहर आ गए. That proved that कण कण में भगवान है. And yet he lives in his own abode in Golok Dham. So that's what it is to understand here. That Brahmeti, Paramatma iti, Bhagavan iti. He is Brahmeti. He is the Brahma Jyoti, he is the Paramatma, and yet he is the Bhagavan. And आगे प्रभुपाद कहते हैं, a common man or even a liberated man who has realized impersonal Brahm or localized Paramatma may not understand God's personality. Such men therefore may endeavor to understand the Supreme Person from the verses of Bhagavad Gita, which are being spoken by this person, Krishna. So Prabhupada says कि लोगों को समझ नहीं आएगा, impersonal Brahm नहीं समझ आएगा, परमात्मा नहीं समझ आएगा, but they will understand if they will go through the verses of Bhagavad Gita and listen to it from the words of Krishna himself. These are the words of Krishna himself. And he says sometimes the impersonalists accept Krishna as Bhagavan or they accept his authority, yet many liberated persons cannot understand Krishna as Purushottama. So Krishna is Purushottama, he is Purusho mein Uttam, he is the topmost among the men. Some people won't understand that. The Supreme Person, therefore Arjuna addresses him as Purushottama. In this, it says, in this shloka, he says, Vetatvam Purushottamam. So you are the Uttam in the Purushas. Krishna actually speaks to Arjuna taking various names. He calls Arjuna sometimes Gudakesh, and Arjuna also calls him by different names here. So he is Radha Parthasarthi, he is the Parthasarthi, he says. Then Arjuna is called Konteya, Kunti's son. So they are speaking at different times with different names, addressing each other with different names. Every name has got a very deep meaning behind it. Then Krishna's words are not just like that spoken. This has got only 700 shlokas and each shloka has got a very deep meaning in it. Krishna is talking about with depth in the Bhagavad Gita. But only devotees can actually fathom that depth. ऊपर में तो जब हम जाते हैं तो काई मिलती है, काई को हटाते हैं मोती नीचे मिलते हैं डेप्थ में. So we got to go and get the pearls. So here it says, Prabhupada speaking, that the Supreme, therefore Arjuna addresses him Purushottama, yet one still may not understand that Krishna is the father of all living entities. Therefore Arjuna addresses him as Bhuta Bhavana. So Arjuna ने address किया यहाँ पर Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatpate. So he says, your Bhuta Bhavana, your origin of everything. And Bhuta Isha, you are the Lord of everything. And you are Deva Deva, you are the Lord of all demigods. In fact, my book is finished with me here. I have quoted from the Granth Sahib where it says, Aika Krishna or Sarabha, it says Deva Deva Atma. So all rest are demigods. Ek Krishna. There is only one God and rest all are demigods. So it says here, Arjuna is saying the same thing, Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatapate. And you are the Lord of the Jagat. You are the universe, the Lord of the universe. So Prabhupada says, Arjuna addresses like this to Krishna. He says, he is addressed as Deva Deva, the worshipful Lord of all demigods. And even if one knows him as the worshipful Lord of all demigods, one may not know him. Even the demigods don't know him. We have the story of, if all of you know, you might be knowing, that how Brahmaji stole all the Gwal Bals and the calves. And then how Krishna expanded himself into all the cows, calves and all the Gwal Bals. So, Devatas even don't know Krishna. The Gurbani's beautiful lines come where it say, where Namdev ji addresses Durga. He says, जब मुकुट की बारी आई तब कहाँ छपानी? You are Durga. You say yourself to be Bhavani. You are that Bhavani. And yet when we come to you, then give us mukti, you go and hide somewhere. You cannot give mukti. Mukti only Mukunda can give. So Namdev ji says, I will sell all the Devi Devtas for one Krishna. मैं सब देवी देवताओं को बेच दूंगा एक कृष्ण के लिए. And he says clearly, Name eho kehe Gita. Namdev ji says, this is what Gita is saying. And that is what here it is saying. That is what Arjuna is declaring before Krishna. Yes, all the Devi Devtas, they don't know you. You are the Lord of the universe. They will never know you. Therefore, he is addressed. It says, one may not know that he is the supreme proprietor of everything. Therefore, he is addressed as Jagatpati. Thus, the truth about Krishna is established in this verse by the realization of Arjuna, and we should follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna as he is. So, one should follow the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna. So, what qualification did Arjuna had? Arjuna had one qualification, and that qualification was, sorry, I am giving darshan to all of them. Yeah. Arjuna had qualification. He was a very sincere devotee of the Lord. Arjuna was spoken Bhagavad Gita when Arjuna accepted. From the second chapter we come to know when Arjuna said, Shishyastyam shadimam tuam prapannam. I become your disciple. He did not say, you become my guru. He said, I become your disciple. This is what the problem with us. We don't want to become a disciple, we want to look for the guru. We just want a guru as a show in the picture. He is my guru, that's it. We don't want to become the disciple. Disciple means discipline, disciple means surrender, disciple means you give your life and soul for your guru. That is a disciple. But we, unfortunately, what we say that, oh, Falana is my guru. I belong to ISKCON, Prabhupada is our Shiksha Guru and my Diksha Guru is so and so, and I'm very proud of it. My collar's up. But until we serve the spiritual master, we become a disciple, we live in discipline. This will not actually, we will never know Krishna. We will never have the attachment to Krishna. So many, you see in the ISKCON, so many people are serving Srila Prabhupada, serving their spiritual master. They're being trained so to serve the spiritual master. So that is how Prabhupada's movement is. Everybody is doing a little bit of their own service to, offering their service to the spiritual master. And that service is going to Srila Prabhupada. And that service is going to Krishna. So this is how we serve. So Arjuna said, Shishyaste mam shadi mam tvam prapannam. I become your disciple. And then Krishna says, Arjuna is asking again, then Krishna says, you give your mind and intelligence to me. Man aur buddhi mujhe dekar yuddh karo. This yuddh, Kurukshetra, everybody has a Kurukshetra of their own. We all have our own Kurukshetra. We are in the material world. We have our own place where we have a battle going on every day. Every day we fight with mind, every day we fight with Maya, every day we fight with so many desires. So we own Kurukshetra. And everybody has to give what? Give their mind and intelligence to Krishna to actually come out of this victorious. To come out of victorious, we got to give our mind and intelligence to Krishna, to understand Krishna. So mind means Matchit Matgat Prana. That means you keep Krishna in your heart and mind, always chant his holy name and remember him always. And never forget him. And your intelligence is following the instructions of the spiritual master. That's the intelligence of Krishna. That is following the intelligence of Krishna. So when we do this, we become eligible to understand Krishna. We understand Bhagavad Gita. Hari Bol. So any question anybody has? I know I was very fast today. किसी का कोई प्रश्न है, कोई question? I'm sorry I had to speak in English because I'm very fluent with English rather than Hindi. हिंदी में बात करने में बहुत टाइम लग जाता है, इंग्लिश में ज़रा बात जल्दी ख़त्म हो जाती है. So any question anybody has, I would be happy to have one question and we'll end the session then. Yes, no one wants to ask anything, everybody crystal clear? Yes, Prabhu.
भगवद गीता में जो श्लोक में बताया कि भगवान जो है बताते हैं कि मेरे हृदय हमारे हृदय में मैं भगवान के हृदय में रहता हूँ, लेकिन लास्ट में फिर लास्ट श्लोक में बोलते हैं अहम अज्ञान मैं
अज्ञानता का नाश करता
हूँ, दूर करता हूँ. तो ऐसा हुआ ये ऑलरेडी भगवान अंदर है भगवान के अंदर भक्त है तो हाउ ज्ञान विल कम। और उसके पहले 3 श्लोक भगवान ने बोल दिया, सततम कीर्तन तो माम, तो सतत कीर्तन कर रहा है, वो भक्त है, भगवान बुद्धि दिए हैं और रहते, फिर वो अज्ञान कहाँ से आ गया।
तेषामेवानुकंपार्थम अहम अज्ञानं जन्तवान् नाशयामि आत्मभस्त ज्ञान दीपेन भास्वता। सो कृष्णा इज टॉकिंग, अभी वो बता रहे हैं कि अज्ञानता जो है, इट इज़ एक्चुअली अज्ञानता तो हमारे हृदय में कभी भी हम गिर सकते हैं। माइन्यूट इंडिपेंडेंस हमें कभी भी लेकर जा सकती है, ये भी तो भगवान ने कहा। हम सब आ कहाँ से रहे हैं, हम आए तो गोलोक से ही गिरे नीचे। फिर आप कहोगे भगवान ने कहा कि तुम गोलोक आ जाओगे तो वापस नहीं आओगे। भगवान ने गीता में ये भी कहा कि तुम उस लोक में आओगे तो वापस नहीं आओगे, बट देन फिर हम यहाँ पर हैं। हमारी माइन्यूट इंडिपेंडेंस कभी हम त्यागते नहीं हैं, वो हमें कभी भी लेकर जा सकती है। इसलिए तेषाम सता युक्ता नाम भगवान को कहना पड़ा हर समय मुझे याद रखना होगा, तब जाकर बुद्धि दूंगा। और फिर भी जाकर फिर हम गिरने का चांस है तो फिर भी कहते हैं अभी भी मैं और कृपा भी कर दूंगा, अज्ञानता दूर भी कर दूंगा, अगर तुम्हारी फिर से तुम्हारा अज्ञानता जो अंदर है उसको मैं निकाल लूँगा। कैसे निकालूंगा? जब मेरी कृपा होगी। सो ऑल द टाइम वी आर एक्चुअली, तभी तो हम मार्जिन पोटेंसी हैं, तभी तो हम तटस्था शक्ति हैं। हम हर समय खतरे में हैं, पग पग पर खतरा है। प्रभुपाद से शास्त्र कह रहे हैं पग पदम पदम, हर पग पे खतरा है। भक्ति में कभी इतने निश्चिंत होकर मत सो जाओ कि कृपा हो चुकी है। कृपा किसी समय भी चली जाएगी, फिसल जाएगी, क्योंकि हम कभी भी अंधकार में जा सकते हैं, बार बार जा सकते हैं। तो कैसे निकलेगा? एक बारी में निश्चिंत हो जाए, वो डिवोटी बन गए, अब तो हम बिल्कुल निकल गए। एंड में आते थे तो भगवान ने फिर से कह दिया है यज्ञ दान तपस्या करनी पड़ेगी, एक सन्यासी को भी नहीं इसको त्यागना है, ये तो करना ही पड़ेगा। एक सन्यासी को भी करना पड़ेगा जिसने सब कुछ त्याग दिया। तो हर पग पे खतरा है। मार्जिनल पोटेंसी तो हम तभी हैं, तटस्था शक्ति हैं। खतरे कहा गया रेजर्स, भक्ति इज लाइक वॉकिंग ऑन रेजर्स एज, तलवार की धार पर चलना है। भक्त इसका मतलब तलवार की धार पर चलता है, वो किसी समय भी गिर सकता है, फ्रैक्शन ऑफ अ सेकेंड में उसका पतन हो सकता है। तो भगवान कहते हैं मैं अज्ञानता को दूर कर दूंगा, मेरी कृपा हो जाएगी। पर ये सब रेगुलर करना पड़ेगा तुम्हें, कभी छोड़ना नहीं है। तेषाम सता युक्ता नाम। अभी वी नो द कथा ऑफ यमुनाचार्य। यमुनाचार्य श्रीमद जो भगवद गीता का महात्म है, गीता महात्म, दिस इज स्पोकन बाय शिवजी टू पार्वती, एंड शिवजी टॉक्स ऑफ व्हेन इट कम्स टू द 9th चैप्टर। सो पार्वती को सुना रहे हैं 9th चैप्टर। उसमें जब श्लोक आया, सो योगक्षेमम वहामि अहम, व्हेन दिस श्लोका केम, तो भगवान जाए जाए श्री श्री द्वारका रुक्मिणी की जाए, सो जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जाए। सो जब ये श्लोक आता है तो यमुना आचार्य जो टीका कर रहे हैं भगवद गीता के ऊपर, वो उस समय उनका ही इज़ अ प्रॉपर ब्राह्मण। सो शुद्ध ब्राह्मण जो होता है वो ही डज नॉट संग्रह नहीं करता है। पठन पाठन यजन याजन प्रतिग्राति, वो गिफ्ट देना गिफ्ट लेना, पठन पाठन ज्ञान देना ज्ञान लेना, एंड देन उसका यही कार्य है। वो कभी भी ऑब्सेस्ड नहीं रहता मटेरियल चीज़ों से, वो उतनी ही भिक्षा से ही जीवन को जीता है। तो यमुनाचार्य भिक्षा पर ही जीवन जी रहे थे। रोज़ जितना मिलता था भिक्षा में उतना ही, उसी से ही वो रसोई बनती थी, भोग लगता था, वही पाते थे। अब उस दिन जब ये श्लोक आया सामने तो उन्होंने देखा योगक्षेमम वहामि अहम। भगवान कहते हैं जो तुम्हारे पास है उसकी मैं रक्षा करूँगा, जो हमेशा मुझे याद रखता है उसके पास जो है उसकी रक्षा मैं करूँगा, और जो नहीं है वो मैं लेकर आऊँगा। अब जब ये श्लोक आया तो इसकी व्याख्या कर रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने जब ये लाइन पढ़ी योगक्षेमम वहामि अहम, तो उसके नीचे उन्होंने रेड पेन से लाइन खींच दी कि भगवान इतने करोड़ों 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 जीव हैं, उनमें से कुछ भी अगर हजारों में भी भक्त होंगे तो उन सबके पास जाते हैं क्या? हर एक के पास खुद जाएंगे? लगता है ऐसा हो नहीं सकता। ही हैड अ डाउट इन हिज माइंड। जैसे ही वो अज्ञानता, आप ये कहोगे यमुनाचार्य इतने बड़े टीकाकार जिनका नाम गीता महत्तम में आ रहा है, वो भी माया में आ गए उस समय, और उन्होंने लाल पेन से लाइन खींच दी। जहाँ से ही पेन से लाइन खींची उसके बाद अपनी पत्नी से कहा कि आज मैं जा रहा हूँ स्नान करने अब और भिक्षा मांगने, और वो कहने के घर में अन्न का एक दाना नहीं है, आप भिक्षा लाएंगे तो रसोई बनेगी, वो ठाकुर को भोग लगेगा। उन्होंने कहा ठीक है। इधर लाल पेन से लाइन खींची है, भगवान पर विश्वास नहीं हो रहा, और उधर स्नान करने चले गए। जब स्नान करने चले गए तो पीछे से एक 15-16 साल का बालक उनके दरवाज़ा खटखटाता है और यमुनाचार्य की पत्नी से कहता है कि मैं आपके पति को आज बहुत भिक्षा मिली है और मैं लेकर आया हूँ। और उधर यमुनाचार्य घर घर जा रहे हैं, किसी ने भिक्षा ही नहीं दी। किसी ने कहा सूतक है, किसी ने कहा हमारे घर में ये हो गया वो हो गया, एक दाना भिक्षा में नहीं मिला। और यमुनाचार्य सोच रहे हैं कि पत्नी को क्या मुंह दिखाएंगे, क्या बनेगा आज तो ठाकुर भी भूखे और हम भी भूखे। सोचते सोचते स्नान करने चले गए और उधर इधर उनके दरवाजे पर कृष्णा एक छोटे बालक के रूप में पहुंच गए हैं और बोझा उठाया है और उनकी पत्नी को कहते हैं ये ले लो, भिक्षा है तुम्हारे पति को मिली है। कहती है तुम कौन हो? वो कहते हैं मैं शिष्य हूँ तुम्हारे पति का। कहती है मेरे पति का कोई शिष्य नहीं है जहाँ तक मैं जानती हूँ। कहते हैं तुम बहुत बातें करती हो, तुम्हारी वजह से देखो पहले ही मेरी पीठ दुख रही है और मेरी पीठ पर लाल निशान है इतने, तुम्हारे पति ने आज बहुत मारा है मेरे को। तो शी सेड मेरे पति हाथ नहीं उठाते किसी पर। कहते तुम समझोगी नहीं, तुम ये लो और रसोई बनाओ, ठाकुर भूखे हैं तुम्हारे। तो वो हेल्प करती है उससे बोरी लेने में और कहती है एक शर्त पे लूँगी कि तुम्हें इसी कमरे में यहीं बैठे रहो, सामने वाले कमरे में बैठ जाओ, जब तक मेरे पति नहीं आएगा तुमने जाना नहीं है, तुम यहीं बैठो। कहते हैं हाँ ठीक है। तो उनको बैठा देती है और रसोई बनाती है। इतने में यमुनाचार्य आ जाते हैं, कहते हैं ये क्या हो रहा है, इतनी खुशबू आ रही है, कहाँ से आया ये सब? कहती खुद ही तो भेजते हो और खुद पूछते हो कहाँ से आया? तुमने एक बालक को आज इतना मारा, वो कह रहा था उसने लाल लाल निशान दिखाए, तुम्हारे को क्या हो गया? तो कहते हैं कि मैंने उस बालक को वो इस कमरे में बिठा के रखा है, जाओ खुद देख लो, उससे मिल लो। तो जैसे ही यमुनाचार्य उस कमरे में जाते हैं वहाँ कोई नहीं होता और जो लाल लाइन उन्होंने खींची थी योगक्षेम वहा में अहम के नीचे अनन समाम चिंतित ये जनियों पर उपासते तेषा, तो कह रहे हैं कि उसको जाकर देखो। और जैसे ही वो देखते हैं उनका मन करता है देखूं कि वो लाइन जैसे पत्नी ने कहा था लाल निशान थे उस बालक की पीठ पर। तो यमुनाचार्य का माथा ठनकता है और भागते हैं भगवद गीता की ओर और देखते हैं वो लाल लाइन मिट चुकी है, भगवान मिटा गए वो लाल लाइन। भगवान ने दिखा दिया कि मैं खुद आता हूँ लेकर। तो दिस इज़ द भाव कि कभी भी हम फिसल सकते हैं, इसीलिए हमारे को तटस्थता शक्ति कहा गया। तभी भगवान को बार बार कहना पड़ा, अंतिम श्लोक तक आकर कहना पड़ा सर्वधर्मा परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणम व्रजे। बार बार समझा रहे हैं मेरी शरण में आ जाओ, क्योंकि मनुष्य उनको पता है बार बार फिसल जाएगा। सो दिस इज़ हाउ वी टेक इट फ्रॉम द भगवद गीता, हाउ वी अंडरस्टैंड कि बार बार हमें अपने कीर्तन को सततम रखना है, अपने आप को हमेशा गुरु की शरण में रखना है, क्योंकि गुरु के वचनों से ही हमारा उद्धार होगा और कोई रास्ता ही नहीं है। भगवान के वचन डायरेक्ट हमें समझ नहीं आएंगे और गुरु की कृपा से ही समझ आएंगे। सो वी एंड द सेशन हियर। थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी। हरे कृष्णा। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री भगवत्पाद की जय, गॉड प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश की जय, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय, श्री श्री गौनिताई की जय, इस्कॉन मोम्बासा की जय, गॉड प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।